This is Dr. Paralysis. This week, instead of creepypasta, I'd like to do a real life story that I had happen to me when I was early 20s. I had sleep paralysis for the one and only time in my life while I was living with my grandparents, and I'd like to tell that story now, sort of to archive it for myself, in case I ever forget. I want as many details as possible that I remember, and B, I feel like it's a nice story enough that, maybe people would want to hear it. I've told it many times to my friends, and I have had a lot of really scary dreams when I was younger. Not even just in my 20s. When I was a young boy, I had a lot of uncomfortable, scary dreams. Like, I used to have nightmares just about every night, from what I remember. Whether or not I'd remember all of them, that's probably not going to happen, but I do remember a lot of the times waking up in the middle of the night and being all scared. As I feel a lot of kids may or may not have had, Not everybody has had so many nightmares, but I feel like there was something that everybody was afraid of. Anyways, back to this specific nightmare. So, I used to live at my grandparents' house. After my dad moved over to my grandparents' house to help them out, and I moved along with them to help, because they were both older. My grandma has a weight problem, and my grandpa, he was just getting older. We needed to take care of him and all that. But we were over there, we were helping him out, and I go to bed one of these nights, and I have this dream, and it starts in this house, and outside is very dark, like extremely dark, and inside this house the power's out or whatever, so I pull out a flashlight. I'm looking around this very small home, and from what the layout I remember, it would be the door, the front door leads directly into like the living room area, and then the left would be the kitchen. So the kitchen and the living room and the entrance all sort of were a connected bundle room, if you can kind of picture that. And there was nothing really blocked off from all of it. And then straight ahead was the halls to bedrooms. So it was like 4 doors in front of me is what I remember, like 2 on each side. And I walked down this hallway, and one of the doors is slightly open on the left. The fact that I remember it so detailed is just very strange to me. Although it was probably the scariest dream I've ever had. So I opened this door, and inside the tub, I believe I can't remember exactly the color, if it was the tub was full of blood or if it was just full of black tar. I want to say it was like full of black. So it's just like this black sludgy look, and it has a really, like, the only sound that I could hear would be the shifting and shuffling noise of my clothes and the sludge in the tub. So out of the sludge comes the only way that I can really describe it is the girl from The Ring. Like, very similar look, long hair, white fucking clothes, like tattered and all that. So basically, just imagine what the girl from The Ring looks like. She sort of like floats out of the sludge and hovers above it. And, you know, we're having well, I'd assume a stare off, because she's faced my direction. And mind you, there's no light aside from the flashlight that I have in my hand pointed at her. And then she like screeched or something. There was some sort of screech noise. And I booked it out of the house, busted down the door, just slammed into it, trying to get out of this house. And then I come to outside, right? And outside, this house was oddly placed. It's like in the middle of a city. So there's large buildings everywhere. But it is barren. The city is dead. The city has been dead and abandoned long ago. Nothing really, from what I remember, was destroyed or anything. So the cities were intact. It was just dead. It was a very dead city. So I'm running, and I'm trying to get away from her. I can hear her footsteps behind me and her screaming at me to get back. The best way for lighting, I had dropped my flashlight, right? Because when I booked out, I remember I got so scared from the screech that I dropped the flashlight in the house. So I don't have that anymore. And the only light in the city, since the power and all that aside in the houses are out, I guess, but not the street lamps. And the street lamps were placed very poorly from a design standpoint. Like, there'd be a lot of light in one area, and the next street light, it'd be so far away that there'd be such a large gap of darkness that, you know, I could barely see the next street light that I'm trying to run down to. So picture that, like a really empty, dark city. And just the feeling was uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to have places that there's supposed to be people in and there isn't anymore. And it's just barren and empty. Those are scary. Those are really scary places. I can't handle those. So we're running. I'm running, trying to book it away from her, but like it just doesn't feel like I'm getting any further from her. I remember I got tired. Like I was running out of breath, and I'm darting through alleyways at this point because I'm trying to find a spot that I could take a sec, lay down, and just rest for a minute while this is all happening, you know? So I remember I found a spot. I darted around a dumpster and I hid right next to the dumpster. And I sat down in a ball and closed my eyes. I'm like, this is a dream. This isn't real. At this point, you know, I realized that I just need to pull myself out because this dream was getting too real, too scary for me. And I'm sitting there just next to this dumpster. I'm like, okay, it's just a dream. It's just a dream. It's just a dream. And I wait. And I wait, and I don't hear anything. I just see black, you know? And I wait. I think honestly, I waited for about a minute to 2 minutes before I let my guard down. It felt like I waited a minute to 2 minutes before I was like, okay, the dream's over. Nothing's happening anymore. I can relax and go back to sleep. Because what it felt like was I was just laying in bed with my eyes closed, I guess, still. I was somewhat awake, you know? So I'm like, okay, I can rest now. I can rest easy. She's not chasing me anymore. So I relax, you know, I untense a little bit, and I'm still just seeing black. And I heard in my right ear, even if you wake up, I will still get you. And that scared the ever-loving shit out of me. I was still in the dream. So I'm like, fuck, what do I do? Because she's right next to me. She just whispered in my ear, and I didn't even realize I was still dreaming. Maybe I did end up pulling myself out of the dream, and I went back into it when I tensed, or when I relaxed, when I wasn't so tensed up. I don't know. I really don't know. But she was there again. And what I did was, I was like, okay, I gotta just open my eyes and get up. And I'm trying to move my body, and I force my eyes to open. And at the foot, same side, the right foot of my bed, she was standing there. And I had my eyes open, like I was awake, and I'm like, what is going on? What's going on? I'm awake. What's going on? And I remember I felt like I couldn't move my body. I violently shook myself as much as I could. I just remember shaking my body as much as I could to force my body to get up and get awake, because clearly I wasn't fully fucking awake. And I didn't want her to get me while I was like half awake. I didn't want her to get me that way. So I forcefully shake myself. And she disappeared when I did. And I looked. And where she was standing, the white in her clothes was the towel hanging on my wall. So the towel took form of her, or she took form. It was funny. It was funny. It's funny now, not then, but it's funny now that the towel was her. I sit up in bed. I'm like, holy fucking shit, that was horrifying. Am I gonna ever get sleep again? So 2-3 days. It took me 2 or 3 days to rest easy and be comfortable going to sleep. That is how bad this shit scared me. I had a hard time getting to bed, getting to sleep for the next 2-3 days. So that was that. That is the scariest dream I have ever had in my life. That was a sleep paralysis dream that just, it was so terrifying. I have never in my life experienced something so scary and feel so real. I don't think I get scared super easy. I get startled easy. I get jump scared when people come around the corner. People scare me when I don't know they're there, sure. But I don't think when it comes to like a horror movie, a horror thing, I get super scared. But when it's not a game, when it's not a movie, when it's real like that, when it feels real like that, that was enough to make me lose sleep for a few nights. So there's not really a moral or anything to this story. This is just, it was just enough to really mess with me when I was younger. And still now, I am still somewhat scared that will happen again. And if it ever does, I don't know. Again, I'll probably have a few nights where I'll have a difficult time getting to sleep because I'd be too scared that it would happen again. We'll see. Maybe a sequel to this video will come out at some point. I don't know. But that was just a little short life scary incident that happened to me. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know it's different than my normal content. And I'm thinking of switching gears on this channel anyways. Gaming just, it's too much to edit the videos and all that. We'll figure something out. That's the plan. It's just to figure something out, stick to it, or I'll do more just whatever I want. Like, it is my channel. Why wouldn't I just do whatever I want? The channel's never really been too much about getting famous, this, that, the other, having brand deals. Yeah, as amazing as that would be, this channel should have always been, and I feel like maybe at some point it might have been me trying to get famous, this, that, the other, you know. The way that YouTube should work and channels should work is by doing what you want. This is your little space. This corner on the internet here is my little space. There's another corner that's your little space. Do what you want on your YouTube. Do what you want. If you are a content creator, do it how you want. If you want to get famous, grind it out. You can't have the mindset that you're going to get famous, though. You need to do it the right way. Don't come into it thinking you're going to get famous. Don't come into it trying to get famous. Come into it as something you want to do. Be genuine. That's all I ask. Because being genuine is the best way to naturally grow a channel. That's my piece. Thank you all for watching. I'll have, another video come out soon-ish, at some point. I'm hoping to, start regularly uploading again and sort of getting on my own ass to do this YouTube thing again, because I miss it. I really miss it. I'm lazy. That's the best way to say it. I'm just very lazy. All right, Dr.P is signing off.